This is a special re-upload, and it's out of schedule, so it's not going to take the place of a regular upload. A very important interview that I sat down with a few months ago, back in March, with a Ukrainian MiG29 fighter pilot. I think you will enjoy it. It's very different to what I normally do, so if you don't want to watch it, no harm, no foul, I don't mind. But it is worth listening to what Yellowtail has to say.
Okay, so just a bit of backstory for everyone. I'm here with Yellowtail 29. He is a MiG-29 pilot from the Ukrainian Air Force, and I'm just going to ask him a few questions about really what his experiences have been so far, and hopefully you all learn a bit of something from it. So, Yellowtail, could you tell us a bit about yourself and how you found yourself as a fighter pilot in this war?
Okay, first of all, hello Australia, hello everyone. I decided to become a pilot when I was at school because it was the cheaper way to go to fly, because the serve in the military it was and study in the university at the university it was for free. But now I understood it's not for free. 4 years I studied at the university. After that, 5 years I went to the air brigade in Kiev, and during the 5 years I flew the MiG-29. I'm second class of pilot, military pilot, and a couple years after that I was retired. I was civilian pilot instructor. I love this job to teach the people, the students, how to fly. But when it started at February 24, I came to the air brigade and start my tasks.
So, when you say you went to the air brigade, was it sort of like you just went to where your old unit was and said, "Hey, can I fly again?" Or was it did you get a call from your old commanding officer saying, "Hey, come back"? Or was this which one was it?
It was like I call and said I want come back.
Okay.
Because they was too busy to call me and say you need to come back. We understood the war started like a civilian. It started at 5 or 4 o'clock with ground, with airfield attack. We understood they want to destroy all the airfields and all aviation. After that, they want destroy all anti-air system. I took my family and go to the western part of Ukraine, and after that, I maybe 2 days and come to the air brigade. Couple days I was prepared to the combat tasks and take the duties.
So a big question that we all have had in the West is how is the Ukrainian Air Force still fighting effectively? We have all heard the stories of how Russia has this massive air force. It should have won. It should have air supremacy. So could you explain a little, if you can, I know a lot of this would be classified, how the Ukrainian Air Force reacted to the initial invasion, how they prepared for it, and really how are you still flying when all the rules of war say that Russia should have won?
Okay. First, on beginning, everyone know it would happen, yeah, but no one know when and how. All the pilot was preparing to relocate and take the resist, the first day of resist. And they, when civilians know it happened at 5 o'clock, the pilots know maybe the couple hours before the Russian aircraft flew on the Ukrainian territory, and they was prepared. The huge job was did by the bombers like a Su-24 and air ground attack Su-25. They made the huge job and destroyed thousands of equipment and cars and tanks on the first day and first couple of days, maybe 3 or 4 days. The columns of cars they destroyed when one Su-24 destroyed a lot of things. Everyone was shocked. Everyone understood it's happened, but what will be tomorrow? What command will be? But everyone, the commanders are good prepared for this, and it was good resistance for.
So what you're saying is they were prepared to take off, and when the Russian aircraft started flying over Ukraine, there was a scramble. They were able to get in the air before they were destroyed on the ground. They had time.
Yeah.
Now, a big question that everyone tends to have with jets and fast combat and modern air combat, and they get this wrong because they watch a lot of movies. Obviously, everyone loves Top Gun. When it comes to air-to-air combat and air-to-air fighting, do you ever actually see the enemy you are fighting? Do you ever see the Russian jet or the Russian drone? Or is it always there's a radar lock and you see it over the horizon? Do you ever actually see them?
If we talk about the airplanes, no, we saw it only on the radars, because the close fighter, the dogfighters, it was only the first days. But when the anti-air system in Ukraine works, they understood, and now their work come up from the bubbles. They work on their bubbles on the anti-air system. We are working ours, and this only long-range shooting. That's it. But they have more modern aircraft, and they have advantages. They can stay higher and shoot further their rockets. About the drones, we saw the Shahids, but before they flew on the day. When they flew on the night, you can't see. You see only on the radar, and when they shoot the missiles, you can see the rocket.
Are the Shahids easy to shoot down? We see lots of reports of many Shahids being shot down.
Yeah. On day, it's easiest. On night, it's more difficult. But now all the soldiers and all the pilots are prepared, like training for shoot it down.
So just judging from what you're saying, do the Russian aircraft ever cross the western bank of the Dnieper River, or are they always staying in the east of Ukraine?
If when I know the first day, it was a lot of people, or a lot of aircrafts under the Ukraine, and they cross the Kiev region, the Tommy region, the central part of Ukraine. They cross it, but it was first day. The second day, they was shut down.
So on the next one, and this is very much an open-ended question, so answer this, however you want. What kind of equipment do you need to win? What do you need to beat the Russian Air Force? As the Ukrainian Air Force, what do you need?
Okay, first of all, I want to talk about the modern aircraft. Yes, it's big deal about the aircraft. If you want the air, you will want the war, all of the war. We need the precision weapon, and a lot of precision weapon. The precision weapon is more accuracy and precise, because now you can pull your button, and forgot about the missiles, and it will fall in the target. We know, as for me, we need the modern aircraft, or we need to update or upgrade our aircraft to take the modern missiles and more modern bombs and rockets.
Do you think it would be better if NATO agreed to transfer all of the old MiG29s, for example, in Poland and Slovakia to Ukraine, or to train on, say, Drakens or F-16s or Gripens?
The second one will be much better, because we have our airplane and we can't resist, we can't see, for our technical reasons, more clear and more successful.
If you could pick any Western aircraft to fly, which one would it be?
I have such a question about the Gripen or F-16. Now it's more. Everyone said about the F-16. I will not the different guy could say another aircraft. Could be the F-16.
A lot of footage that we've seen that comes out of Ukraine involves SU-25s and SU-24s.
Yeah.
The SU-24 is a very old aircraft at this point. It's very old. It's probably the oldest one that I've seen in the conflict, at least myself, not including helicopters. How effective are the Russian SU-24s and the Ukrainian SU-24s, do you think, at their job at ground attack?
I said before the SU-24 made the huge job, but now it's more difficult to attack the ground forces because they have anti-air system and handle anti-air system like Stingers. Yeah, it's very dangerous when some guy hiding on the bush and pick up and shoot you.
Do the Russians have very good anti-air systems, like Stingers, for example? Do they have very good anti-air systems?
Yes, they have good like S300, SC400, Buk, Tor, Asa. They have a lot. They have Panzer. They have good anti-air systems.
And do you believe that the Russians have very good pilots as well? We have heard a lot that Russia has struggled to provide enough pilots to its air force, and that's part of the reason that they are failing to get air supremacy is a lack of good pilots.
I think yes, but I can't say they are better one. They have their modern aircraft like a Su-35. It's a good one. It has good rockets like a R-77 and R-37. It's rocket R-37 very good. It's you don't know you should be a very good pilot. You stay and higher on maybe 7 or 8, 10 kilometers above another aircraft like a radar state which direction it, and he should only put the button. This is not a huge job or a difficult job.
Okay. I wanted to ask about fatigue, how tired you all get flying constantly. I know that in the Royal Australian Air Force, for example, there are very strict rules on how long you can fly for, how many missions you can fly, and how far apart those missions can be. On average, how long would you spend at doing operations in the air, say, in a week?
Okay. It depends on situation. The first months it was a lot of, and on the summer. But for example, we have the groups, yeah? We change it. I have a task one, next one will be 2 or another guy. And we like a circle from our pilots go to, and when I do my job, I go to the rest. When someone did his job, he will rest. About the fatigues, the pilots has more comfortable situation when the troops. We sleep on the house, for example, with TV, but troops, soldiers, they sleep on the ground because we have rotation of our pilots, not too tired. For example, one team changes another team. Maybe 2-3 weeks we works. After that, we will relocate it and works for another place.
Okay. One other big question I had, and I have a feeling I know your answer on this, and I personally probably share it. Do you believe Ukraine will win this war?
Yes, of course, because we don't have another opportunity. We must win.
What do you think would happen if, say, the West could no longer support you? Say there was an election in the United States and the United States did not want to support Ukraine anymore.
It will be very hard for Ukraine, first of all. thousands of people will die without the support of Western, without the giving the equipment or any kind of weapon. It will be very hard for Ukraine.
But you are of the firm belief.
I don't know the result, but it will be very hard and much longer when we want.
One question I personally wanted to ask, just as myself, as I've told you, I'm a student of history. It's my chosen profession. Now, how much does the history of Ukraine play into that thought that you never want to surrender, you never want to live under Russian rule again? Is it the thought back to the Soviet Union, or does all of Ukraine's history come into that mindset, that collective mindset of we will not surrender?
I saw the people, how they react. When you come with the rockets on your roof, when you destroyed your houses, how you can live with these guys, you know? They shoot all the airfields, yes, and they kill a lot of civilians. If I don't know the percentage in Ukraine, but they was on the side of Russian. They speak like a Russian. But after the 24th of February, all places stand on their place. You can kill after that, say we came to survive you. How you can? You shoot the rocket. After that, you shoot, you murder on the butcher, you destroyed the thousands of people, you destroy the buildings, the million people go to the replace it from Ukraine, million people lost their jobs. How after that they think the Ukraine will be part of Russia or live with Russia? I don't understand how.
President Zelensky did say that in his New Year's address. There is no forgiveness. There is no forgiveness for this.
No, as for me, the same. When you speak with your aunt who live on the Russia, they not understand you because the propaganda put in their head the Russian made the right things.
If you could say anything to the Russian people as a whole, not the government, not the military, the people, what would you say?
No, I don't want to say nothing because every word was saying about them. They don't listen. Who understand, they say stop the war. But they think this is not their deal. They think they are like cannot nothing to do with their government. They chose this government. They chose the political of this country. They chose the president. How much longer he was on this place? 20 years, 12 years on his place. They made all this. They cannot stay on the square with and say their voice because they have a lot of police. These police have a lot of their families who support them. I think I don't want nothing safe to them. I don't want I like this thing when people don't spend their time to explain Russians to their not right. I think it's not. It doesn't matter.
No, I think your president said something very similar recently in an interview. He said, "What's the point of talking? We tried," or something of the sort. Of the sort. It was very similar to what you just said. So, on the contrary, if you could say anything to the West, to the people of Australia, the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, what would you say to them?
First of all, thank you for all the support. With this support, with this much easier on this war. Keep supporting Ukraine, and when you ask what you have done in this life, yeah, everyone will say, I was on the side of the good and we won. We should be like on the one side of the good, because if they come to Ukraine, they go to the eastern part of Europe, 100%. The Ukraine is the great wall between the evil.
Well, I want to thank you for having a chat with me tonight and recording it so people can see this and hear directly from you. We've all heard the words to the Ukrainian anthem, and we've all seen you follow up with those words that there wouldn't be a surrender, that you would keep fighting. So I do want to reiterate that you're definitely being heard in the West.
Thank you so much.
But thank you again for coming on. And I speak for my whole community when I say good luck and good hunting, and we will be rooting for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Australia.